Colorado's good. Colorado's team is good. I'd say Texas went in there and they won that game. I wouldn't say Bama just lost. Brock Purdy is legit. He's legit. Plain and simple. Oklahoma is legit, folks. Boomer Sooner. They might be here to stay. The Chargers, right? They got all the pieces, but they're not moving the right ways. I don't know. They have all those big names, and they can't stop a Park. He looked like dog shit out there yesterday. He's the reason we lost our coins. Josh Allen's trying to do too much. He got too cute. He really did. He got too cute. It is Russell Wilson and the Broncos. Guys, why were we acting this offseason like they were just going to be good after what we saw last year? What was going to change? All their receivers are hurt. Anyway, Russell Wilson's more worried about, what his next PR move is and, signing babies and shaking hands than he is, being a leader of his team. He doesn't even give out his phone number to his teammates. The guy's a bot.
Damn, brand new bag for bro, but I didn't pay for it. I don't like spending that cash because I'm trying to savor it.
What's going on, folks? Happy BTL Monday, episode 315 piece. As always, hold the fry, joined by your two hosts, Krabs and Javon. We've got a lot of piss to go over from the weekend, Javon. Not our best work.
You just might.
Not our best work, man. 2 squad ride L's. Let's rip the Band-Aid off real quick, folks. Let's go ahead and get into it. We did smack on Friday. W play there, Javon, with the over in Atlanta and Miami. But Oregon State fell about a touchdown short, maybe 2. Their offense did not look too special. I feel like they should have covered that game, but did not get it done. And then Cincy, boy, do they have some shit going on they need to work through because they do not look sharp. They couldn't even beat the freaking Ravens when they had 7 of their starters hurt, Javon. So we've got some work to do. We need to bring the coins back. After going 2-0 the first weekend of squad rides, we go 0-2 the second weekend on squad rides. We're right back to square one, folks. We'll find you guys a winner for Monday Night Football. I'm not too worried about it, Javon. We got 2 games to find winners on for tonight. We got baseball. I think we'll be just fine. Okay?
Yeah.
We'll be all right. Let's go over some of the plays, some of the games from the weekends. Obviously, chat, have to talk about the Colorado game, maybe one of the craziest games I've ever witnessed in my entire life, betting or what side you're on the side. That was nuts. Javon, double overtime thriller. Colorado pulls it out late, and then they storm the field as a ranked team against one of the worst teams in college football. What are your thoughts on storming the field as a ranked team playing against your rival? It is a big moment. You did just win in double OT. Do you give the kids a pass? The program's in an electric state for the first time in, 2 decades probably. You just pulled out probably the greatest win of the season so far. So there is some excitement buzzing around, but are you giving the kids a pass?
Usually I would say yes. I mean, if this was a while ago, I would say yes because I've seen the argument all and like people's thing on Twitter is like, oh, they're kids, they don't know the spread. Yeah, they do. I mean, from a person who has been in there very recently and been in those situations where you're kind of deciding whether to or not. You know the spread, you know the situation, the game. Yes, it's a rivalry game, but let's relax. If you're trying to pull that you're a top program in the country, we can't be storming the field as 24-point favorites against a team who just got boat raced by Washington State. I mean, come on, man.
You said it perfectly, Javon. Look, the streak goes both ways. If they want to be treated like a ranked team, if they want to be treated like a top 15, top 20 team in the nation, which is how everybody's acting, then they shouldn't be doing stuff like this because this shows that they're not an elite football program. Are we on the same page there?
Yeah. It just shows it's a cool little flash in the pan. More so. So they want to take advantage while they can, which is fair.
Yeah. And you know what? I don't blame the kids. What I do blame is the Colorado defense that still is going to need some work going into games against Oregon and USC coming up, chat. If Colorado State could do that against Colorado on the biggest stages, prime time this weekend, just wait till you see what happens against Oregon and USC coming up, folks. Let's keep moving and grooving, though. Javon, I'm seeing Colorado is 20.5-point underdogs against Oregon coming up this week. Is that too many points? What are you thinking?
No, I mean, they should be just about where they are, especially with Travis Hunter out now. So, I mean, they're not going to be able to stop Oregon. It's just going to be the question is, can they score with them, which we're not going to act like Oregon's defense is fantastic, but it's just going to be blow for blow the entire game.
Okay. And we got hella sub-bangies here, Javon. Auto Gelato coming in hot with a sub-bang. We got Trip MLB sub-banging as well. Ron Lux Clam, my guy with the daily sub-bang, giving out the people sub to the community there. W's. We got a hype train rolling. We got Big Rob coming in hot. Are they going to get waxed by Oregon this weekend? Big Rob's asking. He's asking the important questions, Javon. Probably. I'm sure they'll have a couple cool touchdowns. I mean, look, they got some great skill players, although they're going to be without Travis Hunter now. But they got, Little Sanders at QB, and I'm sure he'll be able to put up some points. It's not going to be, 50-0. But I do think that Oregon probably lays down the hammer and smacks them because this will be the first time they're playing a real opponent this whole season. We got Falser 002 coming in hot with a sub bang 21. Can you do something for me, Blackjack now? Attaboy, Falser. Keep singing, buddy. Yankee Will coming in with a sub bang. We got a Yankee fan coming in watching the show sub bang, and that's how they know we know ball. If he's willing to listen to me and my Yankee hate. Okay, let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving, Javon. Talking about that Hunter hit, that was kind of Bush League. We'll watch it here again. He got absolutely lit up, and initially, and the commentators were with me, Javon. Initially, they talked about that just being a part of the game, and they seemed like they were okay with it because he didn't leave with the helmet. He didn't hit Travis Hunter in the helmet. It wasn't a blindside hit. He didn't know it was coming, although it was definitely late as heck. It wasn't as dirty as can be. But now looking back at it, Hunter's going to miss the next 3 weeks with a lacerated kidney or lacerated spleen, some shit like that. No bueno. And now I feel kind of bad for the kid because that cheap shot, which initially looked like it was just boys being boys, playing ball and some rivals out there, now you're going to keep one of the most electric pieces of college football out for the next couple of weeks. So that was kind of Bush League, and people were saying that, the kid should be suspended for the length of Travis Hunter being out. Guys, they don't get special rules just because they're Colorado and Coach Prime's their coach. That's not how this works. I will say, though, that was a cheap-ass hit, and he should have been kicked out of that game 100%. 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I guess I don't know if they can. That's the issue. It's like everybody was calling for targeting. Like that wasn't even close to targeting. But
because he did it where he just laid him out for no reason after the play, but he did it cleanly, right? He didn't know
it was a clean hit, but it was late. So
but he messed him up, dude.
Yeah, he
messed him up.
Definitely deserved the 15 yards. That was a cheap play. There's a lot of cheap plays by Colorado State the entire game. Not that Colorado wasn't punching the Colorado State quarterback and Shador wasn't poking guys in the face mask, but it was a heated game.
Yeah, that game, probably did get a little out of control. I'd say a ton of flags against Colorado State, which we're not going to sit up here and talk about because I'm not going to make excuses. But they did come through and cover. That was the easiest bet of all time. But I wanted the ML. You guys know I wanted the ML for reasons other than them just winning that game. I needed it for the freaking win total, folks. But now that's absolutely caked, thrown out the window. They play Stanford on the schedule. They're going to get a win there. I mean, that's the easiest game of all time. The future's dead. All right, chat. What stinks is that I really don't think Colorado has gone out and really won a lot of these games. That was an incredible comeback in the last one. But the TCU game, I'd say the Frogs lost that one themselves, and they had plenty of chances to stop them on fourth down and win that one. Nebraska lost that game themselves, and then you get a Colorado State team who stinks, who almost beat this team outright. I just don't think the public understands how good this team really is. They're thinking they're already the freaking Chiefs with Pat Mahomes at QB. They're not there yet. They're good, but they're going to show their true colors against USC and Oregon coming up, Javon. We'll let them do the speaking for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty funny, too, because I remember a team that we had last year in college football that came out of nowhere and beat expectations, but they played pretty close games in conference against, like, actual teams, and it was always wait till they play a real team, wait till they get exposed in the playoffs by the Big Ten, and it wasn't, hating on them then, but now it's not even in the conference play, and it's a massive issue that we're being realistic here. So it's interesting.
Yep. All right, let's keep moving and grooving. We're going to talk some NFL, folks, but I will say if Colorado State, we'll leave with this on college football recaps. If Colorado State's offense was able to do that, just wait till you see what USC and Oregon are able to do this week and the following week. It's going to be ugly, folks. It's going to be ugly. All right, let's go talk some NFL, Javon. I mentioned 3 teams last week who I said, let's pump the brakes. Let's not stress out or worry about them. It was the Bills. It was the Chiefs. And it was, I believe, the Bengals. Okay. The Bills took care of business, right? We know they absolutely, laid the hammer, covered. It was always the Bills for the squad ride. We should have put them in. But Josh Allen, he did what he always does, Javon, and that's suck in week 1 and come out and absolutely ball in week 2 and get a nice cover for the Bills. And they're back. Their defense played great. Josh Allen looked great. I mean, that's the team we were waiting to see in week 1 on prime time. Are you full steam ahead with the Bills now? Are they back?
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about, kind of coming into this game, like the Raiders' defense, they're not the steel curtain or anything. They're one of the worst units in the league, but this is like the most balanced Bills attack that I think we've seen in a couple of years, and we've expected this every single year. The Bills pick up a running back off the free agent market every year, and you figure, okay, it's going to be improved. Now they have James Cook, who last year didn't play a massive role, and now he looks better. Now he looks improved. The offensive line and run blocking looks a lot better. So I can definitely get down. I think this is the most advanced, balanced, and complex offense that we've seen from the Bills. Week 1 was just as a tough matchup against a really tough Jets defense where you have some young pieces on either side. And Latavius Murray looks like he is going to vulture James Cook fantasy owners all season. So I mean, sucks for you
back, folks.
Yeah, sucks for you guys there. We'll see. I think James Cook will do plenty enough to where it won't matter all that much anyway. But yeah, I like the Bills still on the train there.
Okay. Yeah, Bills look good. Bills are back. I will say though, Bengals, Javon, maybe Burrow's still hurt. He talked about re-aggravating his calf. This is how Joe Burrow's been playing after signing that fat deal, highest paid player guarantee money in football. He's been playing like Andy Dalton, whether he's hurt or not, Javon. The results have not been there. They couldn't beat a Ravens team at home who came in missing 7 of their 22 starters on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, Javon. They couldn't get it done. I will say Lamar looked great. This new look offense for the Ravens already in week 2 is showing me good signs. If they're looking like this already against that solid Bengals defense, I might be buying stock on the Ravens as we get into playoff time. Am I super stoked with J.K. Dobbins going down? No, but do I think it's that big of a deal? Not really, especially with the Ravens who love to do, running back by committee. What were you saying?
I said OBJ too. He's out hurt.
Couldn't care less about OBJ. I'm not really even concerned or know why people cared when he went there. He's been watched for years. As long as they have Zay Flowers and Bateman to stretch the field, they got Mark Andrews, and they got that, cohort of running backs who are all, different shapes and sizes, and they all do different duties, but it really doesn't matter because they all fit into the puzzle of Harbaugh's offensive scheme there. I've been impressed with the Ravens so far through 2 weeks, and they've got 16 more weeks to really lock in and have that new offense solidified before they get to the playoffs. They're in a good spot, and the Bengals are in trouble right now. Is it all Joe Burrow? Are you putting it all on him?
It's not all Joe Burrow, but one of the things that like I watched Deshaun Watson do a lot last year. Like you could watch him and you could see that like noticeably his timing with every play is off, whether he's stepping back and kind of progressing through his reads. Like something looked off there, which is, again, one of the reasons why I think he's going to have a pretty big bounce back year as long as he's more comfortable in the offense. Now, I look at the Bengals and that offense, and I kind of discounted it after week 1 because, I mean, he hadn't played the preseason and it was a hurricane in Cleveland there. But week 2 looked pretty similar. And it's tough, I will say, to open your season against 2 division rivals. That's not an easy place to start your season for Joe Burrow, especially after not playing in the preseason. But everything looks a little off. The offensive timing looks off, not just Burrow. The offensive line looks like they're missing assignments kind of every other play, and they're not very good in general, so that doesn't help. And everything seems weird. So, like, I don't want to sound the alarms yet because I still think they're going to be there towards the end of the season, but it's something they got to figure out quick.
You're not sounding the alarm yet, but you're walking up to the alarm. You're locating.
Yeah, well, because I mean, the main reason I'm not is because they did start their season in a hurricane against one of the better defenses in the league, and then against a really good Ravens team. So, like, they have a stretch now where I think next week they start with the Rams on Monday Night Football, who, I mean, they're going to make it interesting, but it's a much easier part of their schedule after this week. So we'll see if they continue to slip against the little easier part of their schedule, then maybe you should be a little worried.
Yeah. 2 divisional L's to start your season out will stick a fork in your season 9 times out of 10. They showed a graphic on ESPN last night. Javon, I don't want to botch it, but it was the last 5 or 6 teams to start out 0-2 in their division in football. I guess it's not that common of a thing to happen where a team plays 2 divisional teams to open the season. Yeah. They showed all of them, and they all missed the playoffs. And then they had the Bengals, of course, up there at 0-2 with, playoffs TBD. That's where they're at. But if anybody can come back and, make those first 2 games of the season not matter, it's probably Joey B when he gets healthy in a midseason form. So I'm not pushing the panic button yet either, Javon, but I am standing right next to it. It's on the wall. I'm ready to push it, like the ordinary deal type. I'm ready to call in Howard. I'm ready to push that shit. I'm getting close. Yeah, one more week of that.
Yeah.
And if he misses a game here, because he's already talking like he might be missing some time, Javon, he's like, I need a couple sleeps to think about it. I'm like, dude, if you're already saying you need a couple sleeps for your leg to heal, that tells me something's not right, which is a huge issue because if he's not healthy, this whole offense is for nothing.
Yeah, 100%. Right. I mean, like talking about, you can kind of see something's off with Burrow, whether it's the injury, whether it's just him not having played enough and, off season and camp and preseason, of course, and this offense, like something's wrong. So if it's injury related, I wouldn't be shocked.
Okay. I'm with you. I think his calf is giving him some problems. All right, let's keep moving and grooving. Couple more NFL points to go over, and then we're going to dive into some MLB plays today, folks, and we'll close out with Monday Night Football talk. Got plenty of time for it. Let's talk about the Giants now. How about the Giants coming back and saving my ass? Javon, I don't know if you took the Giants at Survivor. I know pretty much everyone on Earth did, at least in one of their Survivor pools. You did not, though. You stayed away.
Took the Bills.
Took the Bills. You squared up for catch. You took the Bills, and I don't blame you one bit. I don't. Because I chalked it up. I was tweeting out, hey, guys, ready for the $100 giveaway? I'm bozo. I can't pick Colorado games or, stay in the Survivor pool anymore. Maybe I lost my fastball. But I had to delete that tweet last night, Javon. I got to hit delete. Because we're still alive. And the Giants pulled off a miracle comeback thanks to Daniel Jones, who sometimes is really good. Like he was in the second half last night. He went sicko mode. He went absolutely nuts against the Cardinals, who, I mean, Javon, give us a helmet. We could probably go out there and do some shit. But he went absolutely bonkers. Are you going to give some credit to DJ here?
Yeah, I mean, he played okay. It's just like Cardinals defense, man. We could tell they were significantly less aggressive when they got up in the game, which like a lot of teams are going to do. But even when the game got close and we started seeing, 28-21 on the board, very soft coverages. So it looked like a team who was tanking. So, I mean, credit to Daniel Jones and the offense for kind of orchestrating that comeback. But it's hard to just say the Cardinals just wanted to lose that game. They didn't want to lose that game.
We said it 2 weeks ago. We said it last week. We'll say it again today. People still aren't listening. Guys, it's not, rocket science what the Cardinals are doing here.
Yeah. Okay?
And it's not rocket science to maybe, take in your Survivor pool the team playing the Cardinals who are tanking to get that number one overall pick, whether it's, to draft Caleb Williams, Javon, or whether it's to trade that pick for a bazillion more, because that's going to be the most highly coveted number one overall pick since Andrew Luck and RG3 got drafted in the same draft. It's going to be. It's coming. And you know why? You know how I know that the teams want that number one overall pick so much? Because you see the Cardinals already tanking in week 1 and week 2 of the season. You see the Cardinals trading away their veteran QB and bringing in Josh Dobbs off the street to run their offense, who, by the way, Josh Dobbs has been fine.
Yeah.
He's been
like
okay.
Tom Brady for the first half of both of these games.
Yeah. And against the Manders in week 1, I mean, I was there boots on ground watching it. He was slicing and dicing us up. He was making plays. So Josh Dobbs deserves a pat on the back here. I don't think he's the one tanking. I think he's playing his absolute heart out. But it's not enough because the rest of that team is absolute moose.
Yeah.
Yep. All
Much.
right. Let's keep moving and grooving. Shout out to G-Men for coming through in the Survivor pool. Never in doubt, folks. Hope you guys picked it. If you did, if you took the Manders and Giants with me in week 1 and week 2, first of all, check your blood pressure because it might have gone up after the first 2 weeks of the season. You picked 2 of the sketchiest teams to pull out a win. But number 2, we're in the best spot you could possibly pick for Survivor pool. We took 2 of the worst teams in week 1 and week 2. Now we move on to some bigger fish. Okay. How about the Manders real quick, Javon? How about that Hail Mary? My goodness. I mean, I was packing up shop, getting ready to say we're 1-1 after this. I've seen this movie 100 times, Javon. I swear to God, it only happens to us. Only happens to us. First of all, knock the ball down. What are we doing? Have they taught you guys how to play football? Knock it down. What are we doing? Throwing our arms up in the air, tapping the ball up in the air so they can catch a touchdown on a Hail Mary. But Javon, Russell Wilson, this is my point here really with bringing this clip up. Not only just a Hail Mary, but Russell Wilson might be back. I mean, he looked sharp under Sean Payton. He's looking good. And I've been doing some research on some of these QBs in these new systems and stuff. Russell Wilson throwing the ball over the middle. One of the best QB ratings in football this season. He's been slicing and dicing. I saw with my own eyes in the game yesterday. I mean, he's been locked in. Are you ready to say Russell Wilson is back? Because I'm getting close, and it wasn't his fault they blew that game last night.
Yeah, and I mean, even last year, I thought a lot of the reason, obviously, it was the coaching situation, but I never really was down on Russ because I kind of just chalked it up to Nathaniel Hackett. So to see him doing well is not particularly surprising to me. And in a Sean Payton system, it's just the rest of the team that's got to pick it up. And I mean, honestly, out of the 2 offenses we saw here, I was more impressed with Sam Howell and the Commanders' offense against a really good defensive unit in the Broncos. That was surprising to me, to be honest. I thought that game was going to be a little easier sledding for them than I think a lot of people realized. I talked about that a little bit, especially in the spaces we had Sunday morning, but can't say I expected that from the offense.
Eric Bieniemy might be the truth, folks, because I have never seen that team in my 25 years of life come back from 21-3, actually give a hoot and play. And that's what that team did. Javon, they said, you know what? Fuck it. We're down 21-3. The old Manders would keel over and die and probably lose this game by 50 and get ready for week 3. But Bieniemy brought the energy. I don't think I've ever seen a coach scream at his team more in my entire life than Bieniemy last night. And it worked. It worked. I've got no qualms with it. We know freaking Ron Rivera is not, stepping the intensity up in practice or with this organization. It's got to be the new guy. Good cop, bad cop with Ron Rivera and Bieniemy. And it's working, folks. And Sam Howell, who had another terrible fumble earlier in that game, he bounced back. And he made some unbelievable throws that only a handful of quarterbacks in this league can make. And that's why he's our QB, folks, because he's got that raw talent that we're still trying to figure out, is it worth the mistakes? But he's still young, and he's 3-0, Javon. He's never lost a start in the NFL. The Manders might not lose again.
Yeah, they might be back. Might be so back.
Yep. It's not Bieniemy, Darafi's saying. Who is it then, my man? Because I've never seen us have better play calling than we did in the second half in that offense. Never seen something like it. It's new to me. It's new. I've never seen, good play calls being made for my football team. I don't even know how to react to it. It's new. It's great. We're calling the right plays. We finally have the right guys, at least in most of our, positions here. That's way better than Justin Fields. I mean, Justin Fields.
Are
we ready to chalk up that experiment? My goodness.
That was embarrassing to watch. And I was sitting there, very obviously rooting for the Bucks. Felt bad for the guy. That was terrible. They got to hang him up. The Bears just have to hang him up. Honestly, they're right in the conversation for taking Caleb Williams at this point. You got to start admitting that Ryan Poles not a good GM. That team sucks.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. That's going to be wild. And people in chat are saying Manders are going to get a reality check when they face the Cowboys. I don't know if you guys saw the tweet, but Jahan Dotson tweeted out they're 2-0 last night, as he should be. Dude cares more about winning than his stat line. But he had some good catches yesterday. And then, you know who quote tweeted it, Javon? Micah Parsons. And he goes, I'm coming, or we coming. And I was like, bro, I'm fucking scared for you, Dotson. Like, I'm concerned for your well-being after seeing what Micah Parsons and that defense has been doing. So I'm stoked. And then, how about Mike Evans? Go ahead and give him another 1,000-yard season, Javon, because he's on his way.
I feel good about the decision to switch to catches instead of yards. That might be the difference. Yeah,
it's probably going to be the difference because he might have 1,000 yards through week 5.
Yeah, I mean, in your defense here, this was also by far the 2 easiest matchups you'll have all season for week 1 and 2. So, especially like he hasn't gotten in the division yet where he's struggled immensely. So we'll see.
Yep. Caleb Williams is not going back to college still, God. It's his dad saying stupid BS. Yeah, he's not doing it. You're not going to see people pulling that stuff anymore. Okay? It's Eli Manning got away with it. They're not going to let anybody else get away with it. All right. Javon, one more point here. The Dolphins. Got to talk about the Fins. Because when they're healthy, I mean, who are they going to lose to, man? Especially if Xavier Howard's stepping up. If he's back in that secondary, if X is back, and he made a pick last night on Mac Jones, and shout out the worst Prize Picks 2-piece probably ever sent in the history of Prize Picks entries. Mine last night with Tyreek Hill not to score and Mac Jones not to throw a pick. That was an absolute moose shit 2-piece, chat, and I owe you guys a winner for tonight. So I'm going to get in the lab for the next couple hours after BTL, and we're going to find some Prize Pick squares that are great. Plain and simple. But Javon, the Dolphins, man, are you buying in? I mean, you've already been talking about them, gassing them up a little bit, but if they can stay healthy, who is getting in their way?
Yeah, I mean, it's for me, if they can establish the run game like they did last night against a really good front seven. I mean, Mostert was really good, and even Salvin Ahmed was pretty good as well. You saw the Mostert touchdown to kind of ice it. Like, if they're doing that, nobody's going to stop them because for the entirety of the game, it's going to prevent teams from doing what the Patriots did to them. Like when I was super interested to watch the chess match that was going to happen between Belichick and that offense, and the first play of the game, really the entire first half, you see Belichick roll out three high safeties, which was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. And that was incredible to see. So they kept everything in front of them. They basically said, hey, you can run down our throat and do whatever you want till you get to the red zone, and then you have to beat us in the red zone to beat us, which they really didn't do until the end of that game where they really had to switch everything up. So teams like that, if you have a dominant little offensive front in the run game, like they're not going to be able to do that all season. So like there's no real counter to the speed in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And like, what are you going to do? It's just like I said it from the beginning too. Like if Tua stays healthy, that's the only question for this team. If he stays healthy, this team's right up there at the best.
Anytime Tyreek plays Bill, take his less than receiving yards, check stat news. Yeah, no, that's why we took it. That's why I backed his less than touchdown this weekend, Push Cornbread. But turns out that was a moose shit wager as well. Hate to see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really understand all the Mac Jones slander coming from that game too. He had a couple bad throws. Obviously, the interception to Xavier Howard was one of them. But like overall, the first two weeks, I think Mac Jones has looked fantastic. Like more so, the issue has been the lack of playmaking around him, which has kind of been the problem. Like a couple of those drives too, which one of them was his fault in the interception, but a lot of the other drive that was broken up early in the game with a fumble, it's been kind of the microcosm of their season. He just hasn't been able to finish drives, and the offense hasn't been able to finish drives. So I've been pretty impressed with Mac Jones. It's just kind of the offense isn't going anywhere.
Yep. I mean, look at their receivers on their depth chart.
Yeah.
It's not pretty. Juju Smith, Kendrick Bourne, and who else they got? Who's their three?
They targeted Pop Douglas like 6 times in the first quarter until he fumbled on that drive, and then didn't see the field after that, except for special teams.
Devontae Parker. Yep, that's the big 3 right there, folks.
Yeah, on that's
your big 3. What do you guys expect?
Devontae Parker, like, they threw like a couple 50-50 balls to him, and one of them was that big. That dude just like wasn't trying. Like, nobody's helping him out there except like Kendrick Bourne, who still should get more targets and touches than he is.
Yep. And Chad, we're going to move to MLB picks. We got about an hour to find winners for today, but wanted to go over some recaps from the weekends. And by the way, the most players I've ever seen in revenge game narrative spots was last night with those two teams. There was like 10 guys on the field who played for the other team. And I kept saying the entire game, oh my God, it's a revenge game. It was a Barrios revenge game, or it was a freaking, Jaceki revenge game, or there was like 10 guys who played on the different teams. I don't know if they're just picking up dudes who they're waiving and add them to their team, but that was wild. I feel like everybody on both sides played for the other team at some point. Weird.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. It was crazy. So, I mean, that was
super weird.
Super good slate yesterday. This is an elite witching hour we had in the early slate, so that was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Finally good to see. But college football was good this week, too. It's hype.
College football, not too shabby. My Hokies not looking too hot. Not surprised. Hope you guys took Rutgers for your rent on the -7 because that was there. Len Bong sub-banging. My guy Ty Pacino coming in sub-banging W's, folks. Love to see you guys. Hope you had a great weekend. Memphis Grizzlies. That's very creative, 11. Like it, my man. 1 month sub-bang. W's. EJ Willie coming in with a sub-bang as well. We got Right is Wrong coming in with the 29 bits. Sure. Love it, my man. Junior the Milkman. The big 11. Let's get some winners. Okay, Junior Milkman. We got you, my man. Hoof TV sub-banging as well. We got the whole squad in here. Everybody's sub-banging. Everybody, the vibes are up. Even after 2 squad ride L's this weekend, Javon. I got a feeling we'll find some winners for today, and we'll be just fine. Okay? Yeah. Let's dive into some MLB. You got a cheat sheet? You got a meat sheet handy, or are we just diving right in? Head first.
Just diving in. It's like,
sure.
I'll probably finish putting one together right after we leave here, but it's a gross slate. So not that much really that I like, and honestly, one of my favorite angles of the day is the game that starts in the afternoon, fading Cal Quantrill for the 5th time since he's come back.
Why are we doing it?
Yeah, I know. It hurts to push the button, but I'm going to do it. Taking the Royals ML, which really I probably should have isolated the bullpens or isolated the bats or whatever, but I'm just not going to get cute with it. I'll keep it simple with a day game here because it is a day game, dog. What's up?
Time out. Because I want you to roll into your pitch, but right now I'm baffled here, Javon. You want to take Brady Singer on the ML and the Royals after what Cal Quantrill has done in his revenge tour against us so far this year, where I think we faded him 3 times and we've lost hilariously bad in all 3 of those spots?
Yep. That's exactly what I want to do.
All right, continue. I just wanted to make sure that I was hearing that correct.
I just I just nuked it just now.
There you go.
No,
there you go. There you go.
Who, the Royals?
Yeah.
You're taking Royals, Goots?
Taking the Royals.
Okay, Royals BOD. Flash that trophy, Goots. We might need it.
Oh, I'll flash it, yeah.
We might need the trophy.
We might need it.
There we go. See ya. Another moose shit Royals POD. All right, keep going.
Yeah. Well, the only time I'm taking the Royals with Brady Singer on the mound is when they're at home, where the bats are very obviously significantly better. But Brady Singer has like a 7 ERA on the road and just, I think, over 4 at home. So, like, that's the only time I want to take him, especially against a team that doesn't strike out, which what he does so well at home isn't really even the strikeout stuff. It's a lot of soft contact, which he tries to do in general. But on the road, he struggles with a lot more than he does at home. So I think he has a pretty decent start today. But Cal Quantrill, I think this is finally the day he gets hit up a little bit. And a lot of this team, especially the top of the lineup, has seen him quite a bit. So I know we've been through the song and dance the last couple of times against worse offenses, I would say. The Royals' offense at home is much better than a lot of the offenses that he's faced otherwise, like the Giants. If you look at all the numbers, they are better than the Giants when they are at home. And a lot of those teams that are in the playoff race too. But I do like the Royals today. I think you're going to see him get hit early and often. Won't like be a moose fest where he goes and give up 6. I think it's going to be a lot of hits and some poor hitting with runners in scoring position, but they'll do enough. It's just a little day game dog that I have to go with.
Okay. All right. I mean, look, man, I'm giving you shit because we've been hurt so many times. And Chiote says, you know what? Fuck it. I'm throwing in the towel. I'm done working today. Crabs, nuke that shit. We're locking in the Royals POD on the ML. We're sweating that out. You know what, Chiote? I'm in. I'm down to ride. Javon, you're betting on the Royals today. This is not just a lean. You're on them.
No,
real life money.
Yeah, it's already been placed. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the smartest way to attack the game? Straight going to the ML? No, I'm not going to pretend like it is. You could probably isolate the bats or isolate the first 5, but I'm just not getting cute with it.
Okay. Brady Singer, I'm out.
Sure.
Not on public Monday. Can't do it. Jay does have a point. He does have
I feel
a
like
point.
public is every single day, though. Just public Monday, public Tuesday, public Thursday, public Friday, whatever people want to make up in their heads.
I'll give him a little benefit of the doubt here. All right, Mondays typically, I get my absolute shit rock, so I'd say that's probably pretty fair.
Yeah, I will say though, if you're talking about public Monday, it doesn't have to do with day game dogs in the MLB. Day game dogs are the most profitable system you can take in the MLB. So I'm glad to stick my neck out there, even if it's the Royals today.
Okay. And what is that about? Like, why do pitchers sometimes they can't pitch during the day? Some guys don't see the ball as well during the day. They have better numbers at night. What's good with that? Is it as simple as that? Some guys just prefer playing under the lights. Some guys don't like playing during the day, and that shows more in these matchups.
Yeah, I guess so. With pitchers, they're creatures of habit, so they're all very routine based. So anything that kind of throws that off, and sometimes it affects more guys than it does others. So like guys, even if you're talking like not just day-night games, but like home road splits, guys that are completely out of their element in terms of their preparation to go up there for a start on the mound. It's just something in particular. Like it affects, like I said, some of these guys more than others, and I don't know what the deal is with a lot of these games. But a lot of these games are just weird because they're day games, and a lot of weird stuff happens. So tapping in.
Okay. If you guys want some day game action today, the only option you have is betting the damn Royals on the MLPO day, the trophies. Okay. Any prize pick squares, Javon?
If I think the Royals are going to score runs off Cal, there's one guy I can go to. Swear up.
Reliable.
Say Bobby Witt to the grave. Yep.
Death taxes and Bobby Witt.
Ooh, she did get his fantasy score bumped up. What was it, 8?
Wow.
Yeah, so it got bumped up twice.
Okay. I'm listening. Bobby Witt.
And you know who else I just saw on the board? Because they actually they haven't put the prospects board up until like just now. They've been slowly loading guys on.
Yeah.
You see who's up for hits, runs, and RBI
on the Royals.
Mr. Drew Bonds.
Drew Waters is up again. That's
Drew
son of a gun.
Bonds.
Is he back?
He might be.
What's
back.
he doing up there on the board? What is he doing up? He's got no business. And we got Ty Pacino coming in, giving out 7 sub-bangs to the community. Mike Goat from the 444, my guy from Baltimore. He's super hype after last night's walk-off from the Orioles. The O's could be back, showing serious heart, and we'll get to that when we get to that game for either of those two teams today, Javon. But, man, how about the Orioles showing heart after getting punched in the mouth those first 2 games of the series at home, Javon? I know you're shaking your head because you're not stoked about it because I'm right here. The Orioles, they did what they've done the whole season, and that's fight. And they pulled out 2 huge wins at the end of that series to split it with the Rays. That was exactly what I needed to see out of the O's. That's the kind of stuff we need to witness with our own eyeballs to believe in this team to have a shot to win games in meaningful spots coming to the playoff time. Plain and simple. That's what we need to see.
I just don't know what we're doing having Pete Fairbanks throw 40 pitches to close out probably the most important series of the season.
Scale 1 to 10, how gas is your bullpen? Probably a 9. Who else was going
in? But it was him. That's the thing. Like, he's the one who's pitched the most, which is what makes it all confusing. They had plenty of guys who could have stepped in. They're gassed, but not that gassed. But I don't know. Throwing Pete Fairbanks for 2 innings, which he hasn't done all season, is a choice in that game.
Okay. Oh, yeah, my future pros to make the playoffs, plus 690. It was meant to be with that number, Ty. Great fucking bet. The Orioles clinched the playoffs last night. They were going nuts. I saw their freaking GM doing a beer bomb in the clubhouse, as he should. If you guys don't love that team, if you can't get behind the O's, I don't know what to tell you. Those guys are fun. They're good.
It's a new era for Baltimore sports, baby. New era.
I bet.
It really is.
I bet.
People forget I was born in Baltimore, and my contrarian ass as a child picked the DC teams.
Yeah, I don't know why you did that.
Now I'm in pets. Now we're here because I'm a contrarian in my heart, contrarian at life. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving. Javon, take us through this next game. What do we got? Mets and Marlins?
Yeah, Kind of a gross game. I really don't care for anything in that game. Probably would lean the Marlins of anything, but I'm not laying it. It's hard to kind of lay it after probably the most ridiculous series. Obviously, I'm sitting here with the Reds playoff ticket, so I'm rooting for the Marlins to lose, and I figured I was safe for at least a series loss. And what do? They go sweep the Braves, which is absolutely insane. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a fall flat spot, but I'm certainly not going to go to the grave. Fading the Marlins with Jose Budo on the mound. That guy is terrible at his job.
Yeah.
So I'm down to stay away from that game. I'm pretty interested of this game in Cincinnati, how Joe Ryan's going to pitch, because this is a weird spot. Because Joe Ryan is another one of those guys kind of leading up to the end of the season. More whiffs, but a lot more hard contact. So it's literally been boom or bust for Joe Ryan. So if he comes out in Great American Ballpark and is not producing the strikeouts necessary to be super, super effective, this game is going to soar over. Because I really don't like Connor Phillips either. He's kind of in the same boat. I like him early on against some of these other teams, but the Twins are the AL Rockies. All they do is hit the ball hard, and now they're going into Great American Ballpark. So this is going to be I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. I want to see the lineup that they pull out for the Reds. But I initially definitely lean the over, and I wouldn't be shocked if the Reds bats come to play against Joe Ryan. So I'm sitting there hoping that this is a decent series for them. I'm very scared of this series because there is some very tough pitching matchups on the mound. But I want to see how the guys pitch in Great American Ballpark. So
Okay.
Joe Ryan will be the tell. Really can't say I love to bet Mike Clevenger, Joe Nadone, but I honestly think both of those guys pitch well. I will not be having my coins in that game because I have more respect for myself than that, this late in the season especially. But I do think Clevenger pitches pretty well against the Nationals today. I think Nadone does enough against the White Sox, so I'd kind of lean the under. That's gone 9 to 9.5 as well.
Yep.
So that would be my play there, but I don't love anything there. Phillies Braves. Yeah, Phillies Braves, Zach Wheeler, Kyle Wright. This feels like kind of the obvious bounce back spot, I would say, for the Braves after getting swept by the Marlins, which, again, was super frustrating to watch. So I think at least early we get a decent start from Zach Wheeler. I would say play the Phillies in the first 5, -0.5 if you want value. I guess you don't really have to go for the -0.5. You can just take the ML. But that would be what I would lean in this game. Kyle Wright is still a guy. Going back to like last year, we faded him a lot, and it came back to bite us a lot. He was like a Cal Quantrill Jr. Then we started to see that towards the end of last year when he wasn't on the team and got injured, and now he hasn't been on the team out of injury, and for a couple other reasons they had to tweak some stuff. So I'm still not a big Kyle Wright believer until I see it in a larger sample size, and the Phillies bats are absolutely unreal right now. So I think they get to him early, and I don't like the Braves bullpen either, so I don't want to cut them out of this, but just weird stuff happens in that game.
I'm seeing the Bengals line just moved to 6. Maybe Burrow's out. Maybe Vegas knows early.
I saw somebody said in chat that they had Burrow come out and say it's in doubt that he plays, or whatever the quote was.
I mean, yeah, I watched a clip from Twitter when he was talking about how he needed a couple more sleeps to decide, which was really weird. So I don't know how many more sleeps he needs. Maybe 2 more sleeps, maybe 3 more sleeps. I've never heard someone describe an injury recovery like that. But maybe 4 more sleeps, he'll be okay. I don't know. I don't know how to measure that, with medicine, but probably not a great sign. He did not sound confident. I mean, they did just lose their 2nd game in a row to start the season. The vibes were not up in that post-game presser, so we probably won't know until closer to kickoff. Right.
Interesting.
Weird. Yeah, not good for the Bengals. Not what they need right now.
Yeah, okay. Definitely not.
Also, side note here, would you trade if you need a wide receiver bat and maybe you drafted Alvin Kamara and Jonathan Taylor and you have them on your bench stashed in a league, would you be trading Tony Pollard, your star running back who you also have in your fantasy team? Would you be trading him for Jamar Chase right now, buying low, if you need a really good receiver?
No. You
would not be. Not with this Joe Burrow speculation.
Yeah, because you really don't know how long this is going to linger or last. I know how long the situation in Dallas is going to last because I think they're going to be running the ball a majority of their games. They're going to be up in them. They're going to have a really good run game in general. So, I don't want that off my team. But I certainly don't want to take my chances with the Bengals situation when the injury is involved. And, potentially just getting started with him missing games. So I'm out on doing that.
Especially with the Burrow news. I'm with you. Okay. Let's keep moving and grooving here, Javon. Is it Philly's ML? Maybe you like Philly's first 5 better here and just take out the bullpens?
Yeah, I think some weird stuff's going to happen towards the end of that game. So I'd say first 5, anything. That would be my play there. Brewers Cards is a weird one. Not going to lie.
Yeah, tell me about the Brewers against Wainwright going for win 300, I believe. 200? 300?
I think 300.
No, I think it's 200.
Or is it 200?
It might be.
Yeah,
it might be good pace.
It was 199 his last
199 then.
Yeah.
Either way, he's going for a record number here, and he's not going to get it. Javon, is it the Brewers? Is this line short? Are you getting sketched?
I don't know. This feels like the Orioles to me. Another team with a lot of young bats, at least down at the bottom of that lineup, that I think are going to play right into Adam Wainwright's hands. I know, like, as an organization, the Brewers have seen the Cardinals and Adam Wainwright quite a few times, but not as much towards the bottom of that lineup with, again, a lot of guys that are super, super aggressive. So I honestly think Wainwright pitches kind of well tonight. So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and gets win number 300 here against the Brewers at home against Freddie Peralta. Or if you want to talk about a pitcher who's been seen by the majority of the lineup many, many times. Again, I know there's some new bats towards the end of the Cardinals lineup too, but top of that lineup has seen him and they have owned him. So I have no issues saying that Nolan Arenado and maybe Paul Goldschmidt, some of the guys at the top, are going to have a pretty solid day. So I do think number 300 might be in play here for Adam Wainwright tonight.
200.
200.
200. Because if he gets 101 wins tonight, that'll be something. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move. Let's groove. Apparently, word on the street is we've got a Trent meat on tape bomb that's been placed. We might need to check that one out. Goods, we'll get you on that here. Oh, my gosh, he's already there. $1,000. Holy smokes. Bryce is throwing a pick. I hate that play. I'm already going to pitch the last one. I'm happy we see that. Derek Carr, more than pass completions. Okay, I don't hate that. Deshaun Watson, more than pass yards. We know why he's taking that one. He needs some go well yards here. Kenny Pickett, more than pass attempts. Okay. I don't, despise the entry at all. Besides the Bryce Young one, I wouldn't say I'd be fading any of these other squares. Javon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate any of those squares. I definitely would like to take Bryce Young's over more than his under. Tell you that much.
Really?
But
okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about that when you get there. But I hate everything the Panthers are doing, to be honest with you. So we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, I don't have anything against the entry.
Okay. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving here, folks. We've got a couple more baseball games to go to, and then we're going to talk plenty of Monday Night Football, Prize Pick Squares, book plays, you name it, we got it. All right. Let's keep finishing up these games, though, Javon. What do you got in Boston and Texas?
Really nothing there. Cutter Crawford has been god-awful. So, I would lean Rangers and them getting to his bats, if anything, but nothing confident in that game. Astros-Orioles, I do like the Astros first 5 -0.5. Not for any lack of confidence on the bullpens, but I do think John Means, again, as a lefty, he throws a lot of changeups. That's exactly what the Astros want to see, especially like a lot of the righties in that lineup, like an Altuve, even the lefties, like a Jordan or a Kyle Tucker, like those. They match up perfectly with John Means because since coming back, he hasn't been extremely effective. So I do think the Astros come back, and Verlander has a pretty strong start behind them, and they score on them early. Probably one of the weirder, I guess. I haven't been looking at these as much recently because they took away like the first earned run allowed category ever since we started talking about it. But the first run, I still look at those from time to time, and this is one of the shorter ones. I guess the Astros being favored. It's kind of towing that line with like a -180, 185 favorite. So that's an interesting little piece there, but I do think they hop on Means pretty early. And yes, it does help that the Orioles are coming off of the massive, season series win of their season, whatever you want to call it.
They were boozing last night, as they should be. Hope the boys were staying safe in Baltimore, but they were boozing. I mean, the videos I was seeing, it looked like it was a party in there. I thought I was watching a club in D.C., as I should be. Celebrate.
Yeah.
But maybe you catch them sleeping here a little bit, Javon. Houston first 5?
Yeah, kind of thinking they do.
All right. I do not mind fading a team who just clinched the playoffs one bit. All right. And John Means has not been that guy in his rehab starts, did not look great in his first start back. I'm down to fade him once again and back old man Verlander at home early to pull that one out after first off. I'm in. Yeah, they were going hard last night, folks. That team is so much fun. So young, so talented, so impressive. It's going to stink when they're not able to re-sign all these guys. It's just not mathematically possible. Their owners already started talking about it. I mean, no team besides, maybe the Dodgers, Mets, and Yankees would be able to do it. There's no way they could keep this core. But the good thing is they got a bunch of young guys in the minors also who they're ready to call up who can take their spots. So they're stacked. If they can figure out their pitching for the next couple of years, Javon, the Orioles won't be going away this season, next season, or the year after that. This is a good group of guys.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
If I'll be rooting for them every step of the way, except in probably the ALDS.
That's fair. Yep. You're a Rays guy. You don't got to root for them. You're like one of the only people who probably won't be. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like they're America's team at this point. All right.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving. Let's keep grooving here, Javon. We've got a few more games. Seattle, Oakland, we got to talk about. Colorado, San Diego, and Detroit, LA. What do you got in these last three games of the night, Javon?
Yeah, these games also kind of suck towards the late nights here. Mariners, I feel like I've seen Brian Wu, JP Sears like 2 or 3 times already, but against the A's, like the A's have a lot of righties, not many lefties other than like Tony Kemp, Seth Brown, which I really only fade Brian Wu when he's facing a team with a lot of lefties because you can't pitch to him. So I'm not going to go near fading him today. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just I don't even know if it's square because not many people want to back the Mariners to not score runs against JP Sears, but the under 7.5 for a reason. I wouldn't go near fading the Mariners quite in this game, but I do think it's a lower scoring, maybe like a 3-1 type game, and Wu pitches pretty well, gives up a solo shot, and that's about it. So that's what I'm leaning there. Rockies, I have no idea what the pitching plan is. I know you're getting Walker for the Padres, but for the Rockies, I really don't know what the deal is. So not going to get cute with that one necessarily. Wouldn't mind an under there too, depending on who comes out for the Rockies. I think Walker pitches decently well, but otherwise, no clue. Then same thing with this game. Erod against Lance Lynn. The Tigers, I really want to target them against guys who go up hard hits that are, also left-hand pitchers, especially at the top of the lineup, and Torkelson and a couple of those guys that have seen a lot of lefties really, really well. So I do think Lance Lynn is going to get hit up a little bit, maybe by the middle of the lineup rather than the top. But I do still think the Dodgers kind of eke out one against Erod. I don't love that he's coming off of I believe one of his worst starts since coming back.
I feel like he's been so mid.
He's been not great. I don't know about mid, but I don't know. The line doesn't tell the story, or his stat lines don't tell the story for Erod necessarily. Like he was a lot better for a lot longer in the game against the Reds, which was his last start, than like his final stat line would indicate. So, like, I don't know. I think he pitches okay today, maybe scratches through. Man says he's got his earned run square up, which is interesting. So he's just kind of been flirting around, hanging with that. That's what I feel like he does today. Like, I feel like he's going to be solid for a majority of the start, give up a couple gags, and maybe sneak over that. But I'm not willing to go to the grave with the square necessarily.
Yeah.
It just feels like that type of game.
It reminds me of the George Kirby earned run square that was up that did not hit against the Dodgers a couple of nights ago. Good young arm here, getting that 2.5 run square, and I lean the under, but I don't know if I'm going to be playing it because the Dodgers are like that. And I really don't know if I want to be fading them against this Tigers team. Straight up. Their offense is so freaking good, man. And that total is down from 8.5 to 8, though, I will say. So good sign there if you're looking to get cute and maybe take that less than 2.5 runs. I definitely lean that way, Chad, but I've been hurt before back in squares like that against the Dodgers. Okay?
Yeah. I think he's just going to flirt with it the entire start. He'll probably flirt with a quality start if he gets the innings for that too. And it's just going to it'll be a coin flip once you get to like the 5th or 6th inning if he goes over that. But, yeah, not laying it with the Dodgers, but not getting cute with the Tigers here either. This slate of games is pretty horrendous.
Favorite MLB book plays before we move on to NFL, Monday Night Football? What do you like?
I mean, I like the Royals. It's no secret. Houston first 5 -1/2 is also up in there, and Haven't quite figured how I want to fade or how I want to back Adam Wainwright, but I'm going to find a way to do it.
You want to back Wainwright somehow.
Some way, somehow.
Holy
It might just
smoke.
be just getting up with the ML there, but I want to do it.
Bro.
I could do wait not to record a win. That would be funny.
That would be even crazier. I mean, that's probably what, plus 300?
Probably. I can check the odds for that.
My goodness. That's crazy.
To record a win, plus 400.
Perfect game, Devin says. Should we back that?
Should. Ooh, he's also
Plus
at 2.5.
whatever odds you want.
He's at 2.5 earned runs, which is, I mean, it's super juice the over. Yeah, but wait, he's been at 3.5 pretty much the entire season except for the Orioles start. That was the only time I can remember him being at 2.5, and look what happened.
Okay. That could be a look, folks. Maybe the odds are telling us Wainwright doesn't pitch atrocious today. Maybe there is some value on Wainwright to record a win and get his 200th of his career today. Squad ride, Wainer to record a win. Okay.
Unreal. Is this his last home game too?
Why stop here? Wainer to throw no. Plus 4,000, sure. Why stop there, Token? Why not make it a perfect game? Why not?
Yeah.
Oh, God. What are we doing, man?
I hope he gets it now because I think his last home start is probably going to be against the Reds.
He kept saying it'll be the last series of the season.
Yeah, that's great because
he's also performing for a post-game concert in that game because people forget he also sings.
Yeah, and you know who they're playing in that game?
Who? Don't say the Nats.
The Reds.
Oh. You can't make it up.
That's why I'm really hoping he gets his last win now.
I wonder why you want him to get a win today. Because you know he's getting one in the last game.
I didn't know that until he said that.
The guy's got his own concert post-game. Is it Morgan Wallen afterwards? Is it Zach Brown Band? No. It's actually Adam Wainwright. He's going to be performing in a concert after he starts the game and pitches. That's actually pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Exactly.
I'm not a big music guy. Javon, I was never very musically talented. They put me on the triangle in middle school when we had to take music class, but that's impressive. I will say. Adam Wainwright going for his 200th win potentially, the last game of the season, and then doing a post-game concert like he's a rock star. Okay. Maybe he does have some juice left in the tank because that's pretty dope.
I'm going to go to St. Louis and boo that concert if he throws a magical gem.
Ooh, this guy sucks. Get him off the stage.
Yeah,
you're just blowing that you beat the Reds. Okay.
I'll be booing him. I'll be suited up in an LA jersey, booing him to shreds if he comes out and has a quality start against the Reds and they lose that game.
Well, LA might be in the minors by that point, so I don't want to rock that jersey.
Hey, he's been good. People sleep. He's just incompetent against lefties.
Ooh. Okay, Capwise Nick, that is true. I've always hated squares. So that's why they put me on the triangle. All right, Capwise Nick always coming in with the W dad jokes. All right, let's move to Monday Night Football. We got a ton of games to talk about. Two great ones. Javon, we got to get in depth here. We got two divisional games here, folks. We saw what happened in some crazy divisional games in the first 2 weeks. We saw the Bengals drop their first two divisional games of the season. But Javon, in September, since 2005, division underdogs have been printing 56% ATS. We got two tonight. Panthers getting a couple points. Steelers getting a couple points. Two moo shit teams who did not look great at all in week one, who I'm willing to bet at least one of those two win outright today. I think if you bet both teams on the ML, both underdogs on the ML, you're going at least 1-1, and you're taking, plus 0.2 U's, and you're going about your day. All right. Now I got another play I like where I think we go 2-1 today, and we'll get to that when we get to the plays. But Javon, I think I'm leaning towards both the dogs. I know it's nasty. I know you don't love the Panthers, and we'll talk about that game first. But divisional games, man, always tend to be closer than people expect, and they end up covering as well.
Yeah, 100%. And it's definitely not that I don't like the Panthers tonight necessarily. It's just their whole system or lack thereof for Bryce Young sucks.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I mean, I'm hoping it's the Panthers because I would much rather the one favorite that wins be the Browns tonight. So
okay. Yep.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm down for
Well,
that for sure.
we got some splits here on the Saints and Panthers game, Javon. Saints opened up -2. They're sitting around -3 most places. Maybe we'll see some -3.5. I don't know. I don't really see a world where the public stops betting on the Saints. I think we'll only see more Saints slips as we get closer to game time. So I wouldn't rush to bet the Panthers, chat, if you're trying to tail me and take the dog in this first game. But, man, it's nasty, okay? The Panthers, they want to run the ball. They had very limited success in week 1, and Bryce Young did not look too sharp. Javon, is he going to look any sharper against the Saints defense, who I personally am not super high on? But do you think he's going to look pretty rookie-ish out there again in week 2?
I think he's going to look rookie-ish the entire season until they show something different. Because, like, the one thing that you notice with Bryce Young and the Panthers that really makes me mad watching it, because, like, usually you're going to have a bunch of rookie quarterbacks. So you're like, okay, we're going to create a system where he gets to, early in the game, like, get in his rhythm. A lot of short, easy throws. You kind of build the offense around him. What the Panthers don't do is exactly that. They just say, we're going to run the offense. Bryce Young, you're going to have to make the plays with your arm. You're going to have to be superhuman. And especially when you have no weapons, like they're putting all the onus on him, which is what makes it so frustrating to watch. So until they change that, like, the weapons are never going to change, which is another conversation and another issue. But, like, I don't see much upside for this offense. So, like, today, like, I do think they stay in the game. And part of that's going to be their defense. This just seems like a field goal fest game for me.
Ooh. Field goals galore. Maybe taking some of those cheeky prize pick squares today in this game.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, usually I despise taking those props. Not despise, because, like, they're fun props, but, like, I don't really ever think those are smart plays. They're just fun. But today, like, I'm going to take them because I think this is just going to be the type of game that it is.
Okay. Maybe another under in this game. I will say I think 15 of 16 overs hit yesterday or so far in week 2, Javon. Is that correct? Can somebody check the Carfax on that? A lot of overs.
Like 12-2 or something.
A lot of overs in week 2. It kind of goes with the angle you talked about before this weekend's games, Javon, of week 1 being more like a preseason game. Maybe the totals dropped a little too low. Maybe they overcorrected a little bit. And then, the offenses kind of woke up in week 2 and we saw the real, football teams show up and no more preseason bullshit with them playing one less game. The offenses showed out over the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
2 unders yesterday, 12-2. Okay. Dubs, that's still wild. And these 2 totals in these games, Javon, I mean, from the openers, they both crept down a ton. So if you hate fun and you like winners, maybe you just bet both the unders in both these games.
Yeah, wouldn't be a bad idea there.
Okay. We got Guy Fox coming in hot with a sub-bang, 5 months. Bryce Young throwing a pick for me to complete a 6-legger. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. We got Trent placing that in his 4-piece bomb. We got Guy Fox needing a interception to complete a 6-piece, Javon. That's going to be tough. You do think he throws a pick today, though, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to the grave with it today, but it does seem easy. Like, I can see why you're betting on the under, because it is what Tannehill, I think, threw 3 picks last week against this defense, which, yes, they're a little overhyped, I would say, and you're going to see that when they start playing better offenses. But 3 picks, and now you got a primetime game against a rookie quarterback who already looked like he struggled with some throws against the Falcons, who are also a great defense. Let's not let that by the wayside after what they've done the first 2 weeks. But yeah, seems easy. So I'm not going to go to the grave with the over, but that whole system just makes me have zero faith.
Huh. Okay. And yeah, the Saints defense did a pretty damn good job in week 1, kind of stunning Tannehill and also Derrick Henry as well, who only averaged, I'm looking right now, I think it was 4 yards per carry in that game. Nothing crazy for him. It looks like he averaged 4.2 yards per carry on the ground, and he had an 18-yard run as well. So he did not have a great day on the ground, though I was impressed with Spears. I will say he had a couple pretty good, exciting runs for that team. Overall, the Saints defense did their job. That game was boring, low scoring. That's how they're going to have to win a lot of these games. I just think the public is too high on the Saints. and everyone thinks the Panthers stink, and I don't blame them. They do, but I think the line's an overreaction, and I want to take the 3 points now at home in a divisional game where I think either way, whoever wins this game, it's going to be less than 3 points. It's going to be toy. It's going to be toy.
It's fair.
Yep.
This is the reason why I'm probably staying off.
Ooh. JC Horn is out. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's not good for the Panthers.
Oh, no. Did the refs have the Manders ML? Yeah, they might have, because there was definitely a PI on that 2-point conversion that they didn't call. And I'm not complaining about it. We never get calls, so I'll take it. But, yeah, Javon, that's bad.
Yeah,
I mean, he's the best player on that defense.
Arguably,
Michael Thomas masterclass today, slant man. Coming in hot. Is slant man get a ball today? I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a slant man type game. I'll tell you that much.
Okay. I mean, yeah, no JC Horn. Are you kidding me? Sheesh.
Yeah, they were hoping he could come back this week, but they put him on the IR 2 days ago, which was tough.
Can't back the Panthers here? I don't know. I think I'm going to back the Panthers here. I just want to fade the Saints. It's more of a Saints fade in a divisional game on the road after pulling out a nice little win in week 1. Thomas got bumped down from 53.5 to 58.5, down to 58.5 on FD. Makes no sense. That's no bueno. But, yeah, this is all we're hearing today. And I'm not surprised to be hearing this, right? This is the narrative I woke up expecting to hear all day today, and I am. It's all Saints, right? Derek Carr's down there. They're 1-0. They're playing a moose shit Panthers team who looked atrocious with their new QB in week 1. But, guys, that week's over. We got week 2. They've had a week to prepare for this game. It's a divisional game. These teams know each other very well. And I think the Saints are overvalued. I think the Panthers are probably valued where they should be, and that's towards the bottom of the league. But I'm taking the points in a divisional game, which tend to print early on in the season, the last couple of years.
Yeah, 100%.
W's. Dotson blows. He does not blow.
Okay, dude, he's got to get in uniform after the first quarter.
Yeah, he's been disappearing. Okay,
yeah,
100%. How about that Terry McLaurin touchdown pass, by the way?
Dude, that was a dot. Hell of a catch, but that was a dot.
That was an unbelievable throw. He put it exactly where his receiver could catch it and nobody else, and that window was tight because he was double covered. That was insane. And also, I got to give some respect. Chase Young, rocking the jersey today. He showed up. He played well. He had a sack. He had a couple tackles for loss. Guys, the Manders might be legit. Straight up. If they can figure out a way to get some consistency at QB with that defense and a couple of those weapons, they got some winners at receiver with guys like Terry and Dotson. I wouldn't be surprised if the Bills this week maybe don't cover the 6.5 points on the road at the Fed. I would not be shocked. Javon, are you going to be landing with the Bills again?
No, I probably won't. Not back-to-back weeks, but
all right. That's fair.
I'm probably not placing a Commander's ticket.
Okay. Chase Young post-game interview looking like he's locked. He better be, man. He better freaking be. Okay? If Sam Howell's decent, this might be a playoff team. 100%. I'm with you. But Josh Allen might carve us up like a Thanksgiving turkey as well. Okay. Javon, what's your favorite play on the books in Saints versus Panthers? Are you laying it with New Orleans? Are you taking that under? What do you like?
Definitely not laying it with New Orleans. I would say I'd rather much prefer the under.
Okay. All right. Any prize pick squares you like in this game?
There's a couple don't love. I haven't seen they're trickling out the board, I guess, for everything, not just baseball, because I've seen stuff popping up repeatedly. I wouldn't mind going to the little field goal prop for the Saints kicker, which that's the only one up. I wouldn't mind going to Hayden Hurst, because that's another one where I think the only thing that stays constant in the Panthers offense, it looked like from week 1, is Hayden Hurst being a safety blanket, because the O-line allows him to get pressured very, very easily, and that's probably not going to change. The one thing that I don't really think has changed year to year with the Saints defense is the pressure they're generating with the front seven. So that's going to stay the same. I think he's going to be running for his life a lot, so I wouldn't mind his rushing yards. And then the Hayden Hurst little 3 receptions coming out of the backfield as a security blanket there. So that would be anything there. And I hate that it's a green chart, but obviously there's only 1 week that's really relevant.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's what I would go with.
Okay. All right. Hurts receptions is a great look, Ball is saying. What about Olave? Any thoughts on Olave today? You're more of a slant man guy?
I don't even know what I am in that game for the Saints weapons. I don't really love any of them because Olave will get he'll be open in looks, but I genuinely think that the pressure that the Panthers D line generates is going to be a little bit of a problem too. So it's going to be a little bit more short game for Derek Carr, and Olave is obviously not just a deep threat; he's versatile, so he'll be in the offense in a majority of ways. But I don't know. I don't know what I want to go to for the Saints. So I'm kind of just staying there.
Okay. All right. We move. Chat. Maybe you target Blake Group. More than 1.5 field goals today. Maybe you target little Hayden Hurst receptions in that first game. Either way, let's talk about the better game of the night. Cleveland versus Pitt, Javon. The Steelers at home on prime time, they're covering machines. Okay, I don't love hearing and seeing that trend floating around all day today. But I do love backing a team like that at home who's extremely well coached, who flopped in week 1. And I think there's a little bit of an overreaction by not only the public, but by the betting markets. And with the Browns doing the exact opposite in week 1, where they came out in a monsoon and they absolutely balled and destroyed the Bengals. And we're only getting the Browns at -2 against Pitt here. I don't know how much of a favorite they can make them in this spot because, like I said earlier, that's a tough place to play, and that's a tough team to play on the road in prime time. We know Mike Tomlin does not fuck around. He comes through and respects coin on prime time. He just does. He does. But I'm putting the line movement here to the side, Javon. I'm going to back Kenny Pickett. Although their offense looked atrocious, and although the Browns looked elite in week 1, I think it's an overreaction, and I'm willing to take a stab at Pitt to keep this one within the number. But like I said earlier, folks, I think if you back both dogs on the ML, you're going at least 1-1. Okay, total in this game is down from the opener at 43 to 38.5, Javon. Might be getting another under here with 2 defensive-minded teams after we saw a bazillion overs this weekend.
Yeah, likely the case. At least, this is one of the games where I kind of felt like this about the Falcons game this week, which is why I kept it to the first half under, which miraculously hit because of the coup extra point. But I think it might sneak over towards the end of the game here. The one thing, I guess, somewhat had to do with the line movement, but it's pretty even on both sides, I would say. The Amari Cooper injuries, the injuries on the offensive line for the Browns, which now you're going to have a rookie right tackle lining up against TJ Watt. And then on the other side, you have Deontay Johnson, and then you have no Cam Hayward, which I think the Cam Hayward injury is probably the most important thing in this game to me.
Yep.
Because Nick Chubb is going to feast on the ground. There is not one player that they've done. I saw some tweets looking at the numbers of this earlier. There's not one player on a defensive line that's made a bigger difference in efficiency for a run defense than Cam Hayward, and this stretches across all 32 NFL teams. So Nick Chubb is going to feast up the middle, especially when you know that you're going to have pressure on Deshaun Watson from the right side kind of all day. You're not going to be able to run all that much to that side because it's going to be pretty tough sledding there for a rookie against TJ Watt, who is a much better pass rusher than run rusher in my opinion anyway. But I think up the middle is going to be the key for the Browns today. So it's going to be a lot of Nick Chubb. We'll let you clock, yes, but I do think they're going to be pretty explosive out of that too. So I do lean Browns first half under. If you're going under, I think it sneaks over late.
Okay. Seen a lot of Chubb talk today, and I don't blame him. Also seeing AB talking a lot of smack on the TL. I mean, look, he tweeted out a graphic saying AB has CTE. I think he's at the point where now he's just full troll mode at this point. And you know what? To each his own. I don't blame him. If that's how he wants to be, okay, sure. But this tweet, Javon, I mean, hysterical. If the Steelers don't score over 20 points today, Mac goes back to Canada. ... OCAB. I mean, come on, bro. Is that not hysterical? And I read it in his voice, being hilarious. But he's saying, let's send Matt Canada back to Canada. Is that what he's talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that dude is doing, man. AB, yeah, he's probably betting on the Steelers team total, man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I mean, the video you posted of him fading the Bucs in week 1.
Yeah, it was a good look.
was hilarious. So I'm excited to see if he drops a vid for week 2 here, maybe fading his team, the Steelers. If he does, I'll feel very confident.
Well, he said he needs over 20 points. So, I mean, he's taking the teams all over. So, I mean, they might get shut out.
Okay. I thought it was more of a chirp saying, man, if they can't score 20 points today, they fucking suck. But maybe you're right. Maybe he's betting their team total and he's saying, boys, pick it up. If not, I got to send that OC back to camp. Okay.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. AB, man. People forget AB was running routes in this league perfectly fine like a year or 2 ago, and just walked off the field and quit mid-game. People forget that.
That was ridiculous. That was so confusing to watch.
It really was. But yeah, back full circle here. Let's bring it back to what we were talking about. Seen a lot of Nick Chubb, anytime touchdown talk today, but Javon, I don't even give a hoot. He scored. He's fine to pay dirt. It's his day today. Didn't score last week somehow. Had a great day. Was at the goal line, got stuffed a bunch of times. But Nick Chubb is fine to pay dirt today, folks. I'm willing to square up for Kitch and take that square on Prize Picks. Javon, I'm pretty sure you're with me as well with that square.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
W's. No Deontay Johnson in this game. Are we going to see any other weapons on the Steelers step up in this game? Maybe Freiermuth, maybe a little Pickens action?
Yeah, I wouldn't hate a little Freiermuth. I wouldn't hate a Calvin Austin either, kind of stepping up. He's the guy that I've seen, at least looking at the lines in the books, gotten the biggest increase in his lines from the news of Deontay Johnson being out early last week. So he would be the guy that I'd say would see the most increased usage in his role. So that's the guy that I would probably target, if anything.
Is that Tavon Austin's brother? Are they related at all?
Could be. It might just be him just secretly putting on the uniform.
Okay, well, we're going to need him to play like him today if we're back in that. More than 28.5 yards for a guy that most people haven't even heard of. I don't think he played week 1, did he? Did he step on the field?
Yeah,
I don't think so. He did?
Did he? I don't know if he got
also
any
action. It's a popular angle today, too. It's back in Minga. What are your thoughts on him?
I can't get myself to back anybody but Hayden Hurst in that offense until I see something change. Like I don't understand their plan. I just really don't.
Okay. What are they building in there? That's kind of where you're at right now. What the hell are they doing?
No, like I know what they're building in there. It's nothing. They're literally like they're going out there and running a normal offense and just saying, hey, we're not going to make it any easier on you, Bryce Young. Just go out and be superhuman. You got terrible wide receiver weapons. Mingo's promising, sure, but you got Thielen and Hayden Hurst who are 46 and 55. And, just go make something happen. You're going to be superhuman and somehow keep us in games because nobody else around you is going to do it.
Okay. Yep. Very underwhelming weapons for a rookie, which is very, very tough. It's already fucking tough playing QB, which I think is the hardest position to play in all sports. You're not giving the guy some weapons. You're not setting him up for success. I guess they're just giving him 3 running backs that they use interchangeably and they run the shit out of the ball. I don't know. I'm with you. I'm not really buying what they're building, but might be able to keep it within 3 in a divisional game when everyone's so high on the Saints. We'll have to see. Nick Chubb was minus 150 last week to minus 105 today. Makes no sense. Well, he is going up against a really good defense, Ron.
It also was a hurricane in week 1. So, they knew, and the books knew that they, literally couldn't pass
We're only going to run the ball.
Yeah, so that plays into it quite a bit, too.
He's usually not minus 150 to score ever. That's a fat line. That's a fat line. Okay. W's, let's keep moving and grooving here. I like that Chubb ATTS. I don't care what the odds were, but a decent point to bring out Fat Girls or Ron. Definitely not weird, but not looking into that too much with that game being a month soon. That's why he's 50. All right. Let's keep moving and grooving. RT is out for the Browns. Yeah. I mean, if Watt can't take advantage of that and call some ruckus today, maybe he's not that guy.
Yeah, big difference on the total, too. Whole touchdown shorter. Or
W math.
Yeah, under.
W Phil Snug there from Capwise Nick. Love it. Does Pickett feed Pickens today? I mean, he's got nobody else. Someone's got to get the choice.
Might
Someone's
have
got
a
to get the rock
choice.
tonight. I mean, I'm starting Pickens in my flex in one of my leagues because Deontay, he's got to hit somebody, and I feel comfortable with Pickens in there being the wide receiver 1 tonight. Do you think he does enough? You think he puts up at least a 10-piece for me in fantasy?
Hopefully. It's all going to depend on how many times Myles Garrett's putting Kenny Pickett on the grass. So that's going to be – he's going to have guys in his face the entire game. I don't think that defensive performance from the Browns is just a fluke because of the weather or because of how the Bengals and Burrow look early on the season. Their defensive line is good. Their whole defense is very good. So they're going to pressure him all day. It's going to be a Mike Tomlin coached game. He's going to have to figure out how to get Kenny Pickett going in the short game because that's the only way they're going to survive.
Okay.
So that's why I don't mind Calvin Austin and Pat Freiermuth. Those are the guys that I think are going to be the beneficiaries of that.
Muth. He's a beast. Safety net.
Yeah.
Okay. W's, Cleveland and Royals total up to 10. Sheesh. My goodness, bro.
I feel like it always does, though, especially when Singer is – even when he's at home where, he's obviously significantly better, they just always show the Royals no respect. Because, they also know their bullpen is god-awful, too.
I don't think they deserve any respect.
Yeah, but, hey, I would love for it to be a shootout because that would tell me Cal Quantrill's getting destroyed. Even if Brady Singer doesn't pitch the best game, which, I'm hoping he does, it'll be interesting.
Okay. Should we take Cal Quantrill more than earned runs in the squad ride? No votes? Just put that in there and go better down?
Yeah, just call it a game there.
Oh, man. Chat, we owe you guys a winner for the squad ride today because we gave you 2 losers over the weekend. We did smack on Friday, but we're back to 40 games, over 500, 128, 88, and 3 on squad rides. So let's bounce back. Let's think long and hard about what plays we want today, Javon. You want to start out with a couple baseball angles you like? What do you like?
Yeah, we don't have really all that much today.
Yeah. W2 football games today. I wish they spread it out and put 1 at 5 and 1 at 8, but we'll take it.
Ooh, I didn't even see this. They didn't have these lines up earlier. 3.5 earned runs.
Ooh, after how well he's been pitching.
He's had the 2.5 at bettable price, and that's been soaring under. So
good.
Interesting.
That's good signs, folks. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're going to take that square for a little day swipe.
It's not square, I would assume, but that's just what his line is out on the book. Right.
Yeah. No earned run square on Prize Picks, but great sign to see him up to 3.5 when he's been pitching lights out.
Huge.
Okay.
That's huge.
Okay. Wayno 200 win incoming. Do you guys really want to put that in there? No, man.
Might be happening, dude. Just might be happening.
Well, we can't put in the Royals, Javon, because that game starts in 5 minutes.
In a couple minutes, yeah.
What do you want to put in from baseball? What do you like from MLB?
Houston.
Chat, let us know your favorite play right now. I want to see what you guys like today. Javon?
This might be it. I would say from the diamond, I would say Houston first 5 -0.5 is really the only thing that's not Wayno related that I really would be fine putting in there.
If you want to back Wayno today, how are we doing it?
It's a great question. What's the price?
Do you think both guys pitch pretty well, or do you think the Cardinals win this game with their offense?
I feel like the Cardinals win this game. I'm not going to lie to you. It's going to be no in between, in my opinion here. It's going to be very Orioles game-esque, or Wayno is just going to come out and just get destroyed. There's going to be no in between.
Oh.
It's I wouldn't be mad at all just saying Cards ML. That might just be how I play it.
Okay. St. Louis ML. Let's put them in there. Let's put Chubb ATTS in there.
Man.
Okay. Chubb ATTS. What football plays you want to put in? You like that first half under?
Yeah.
Was that New Orleans and Carolina?
We were talking about it with the Panthers game, but I like them both. But yeah, we can put New Orleans, Carolina one in there.
Is that the one you like better?
Yeah.
New Orleans, Carolina, first half under 19.5.
Yep.
W's. We need one more play here, Javon. Probably for the later game. Do we go Steelers with the points?
I mean, that's an exact decision from you.
What are the splits showing me, folks? I want to see if they've been moving and grooving. I want to get the Steelers involved in this game in some capacity. It definitely worries me that everyone's aware of how dominant they are in prime time. Everyone's talking about those trends, but I still want to back that team and buy low and sell high on Cleveland here, at least in this spot in week 10. Let's see. Yeah, no one's betting them. Let's put Pittsburgh in there. +2. Right now, Javon, we got Houston first 5 -0.5. St. Louis ML. We've got Chubb ATTS. We got New Orleans, Carolina first half under 19.5. And we got Pittsburgh +2, Javon. Are you good with those plays?
Yep.
W's. Jack, get your bets in. Hurry up. Go, 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 go. Get them in. Hurry up. Wayno ain't winning, man. All right, our claws. Get your votes in then, my man. Get your votes in. You don't know ball if you ain't taking Pitt. Okay, Holy Howitzers. Commanders ML on Sunday. Keep the points. They went outright. Oh, no. We can't be starting this narrative right now. It's way too early in the week.
Already.
Not showing the Elves ML. Dudes, we're not taking the Browns. Come on. Are we high on them this year? Are we impressed? Sure. Do we have a couple of squares we like? Yeah. But not in this spot. Not after how good they looked in week 1. We can't be backing them. Come on now.
Yeah.
Jack, get your bets in. All right. These games are tough. People be sleeping on the MLB slate. Remember, guys, the NFL lines are the sharpest in all sports. Kaprizov is right. Okay, chat, make sure you vote for your play you like the most, not just the play that's on prime time. Okay, pick a winner. Get your votes in. Hurry up. You got about 2 minutes. And chat, make sure you guys download Pickett Sports. If you're not tracking your bets on Pickett, if you're not joining the best tight-knit sports betting community on the App Store or Google Play on Pickett, what are you doing? Okay, it's so much less toxic than Twitter. They've got a feed on there just like it as well. Pretty much only talking bets. Make sure you guys check it out. It's free to download. It's not a sports book. You just track your bets on there, and it syncs up with them automatically. It's worth you downloading. It's free, and it's got fire UI UX. Looks really clean. So download Pickett. All right. Oregon spread for everyday squad ride this week. We could do that, CJ.
It's putting in on it every day.
Shocker, Javon. We got Nick Chubb, anytime touchdown score for the squad ride today. I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
Is it a little square? Maybe a little bit. But is he finding pay dirt today against a mid-run defense? Yeah. It's the only way they're going to be able to do it in this game. So feed Chubb. Okay, he's got a decent matchup tonight. Feed your best player in that backfield, and he's finding the end zone like he couldn't in week 1 when he was so freaking close. All right? Give your stud the reins. All right? First year where he's really that main RB, and give him a goddamn touchdown and get those vibes moving and grooving as they head into the middle of the season here. Got to get your guy Chubb a touchdown. Get the guy paid. I'm sure he's got some incentives out there, Javon.
Oh, yeah.
Let's find the pay dirt tonight, Nick Chubb. All right?
Why not?
Steelers ain't covering, chat. Steelers may lose every game, chat. You guys are going to get me to lock in Pittsburgh on the ML tonight. Keep talking. Love it. Chat, W Squad Ride. All right, we're going Nick Chubb, ATTS. Make sure you guys download Pickett and stick around for the surgical stream. Trent's going to take you through some plays for today. And we'll catch you guys tomorrow, same time, same place.